Ooh, what's up guys, ShinyHunterDestroyer here and welcome back to a brand new Pokémon Monsters anime discussion video. Today I'll be talking about episode 22, which is titled Goodbye Raboot. I bet you know, everyone who watches my videos know that I'm about to say this one thing, this one teensy little thing. This episode, oh man, this episode was so good! This episode started off with Ash and Go heading to Little Root Town in the Hoenn region. Here they would be looking for Beautifly because they're going to be migrating soon. So they want to get a glance at them in the sky, so that's what they headed there to do. As they're walking around, Go sees a Wurmple and tries to catch it. When Go signaled for Raboot to help, Raboot instead of helping just kept walking and looking away, obviously meaning that Raboot wasn't interested in helping this time around. While searching for the Beautifly, they encounter a Zigzagoon laying in the grass. It looked like it was hurt, so Ash and Go put down their bags so they can see what was wrong with Zigzagoon. Raboot spotted something behind a tree while they were treating Zigzagoon. There was another Zigzagoon trying to sneak up and steal Ash's bag, but Raboot spotted it before the Zigzagoon could even get there. Both the Zigzagoon that was laying in the grass and the Zigzagoon that was trying to steal the bag ran away after that. Obviously, Ash and Go kept on going without knowing why Zigzagoon was like that. After this happened, Raboot saw the two Zigzagoons meet up with a Lombre and run off. Ash and Go take a break for the rest of the day. Before it was time to go to bed, Go was able to think of a good way to see the Beautifly. What they should be doing instead is look for Silcoon so they can watch them evolve when it's time to migrate. That would be the goal for the next day. That night, Raboot sneaks out while Ash and Go were sleeping. Nothing too much of note, but Go realized that Raboot left when Raboot returned back to where they were sleeping. The next morning rolls around and Go is starting to feel more and more down about Raboot. The way he's acted since he evolved is only now hitting him really hard. Anyway, after they nommed on some food, they go out to look for the Silcoon, which they were able to find, a lot more easily than when they were looking for Beautiflies alone. And, well, now it's time to wait for them to migrate because, they're not doing it now. While walking, Ash and Go pass an apple stand. Raboot asks Go if he could buy a bag of apples. Go questions Raboot because he just ate breakfast, but he gives in anyway, buying a whole bag of apples for Raboot. Afterwards, Go asks Raboot for an apple, but Raboot turns away, taking the bag for himself. This is where it starts going whack. This is where Go completely broke, and Go completely goes off, saying things even to the point saying that Raboot hates him. Go lets out all his anger towards Raboot at this exact moment. The lady at the apple stand said to not worry about it. Raboot is just in his rebellious phase, and that's all that's happening. Her saying that wasn't able to keep Go from worrying. That next night, Go stayed up to see if Raboot would try to sneak out again, which Raboot did. Go tried to follow Raboot outside, but eventually Go lost him. Before heading back, it's important to note that Go heard something that, that kind of sounded like music, but we don't have to go too far deep into that right now. Okay, next day rolls around, they are able to see the Beautifly fly into the sky. They watched all of the Silcoon evolve and watched all the Beautifly fly away. It was honestly a beautiful moment for both Ash and Go. But enough of that now, we have more important matters to look at. Before they went to bed, Go told Ash that Raboot was sneaking out at night. Ash agreed to stay up and help Go in finding where Raboot was heading. They get out to where Go was before, but they lost Raboot again, until we started hearing that music in the background once again. Ash and Go followed the noise to a building where they would find not only Raboot, but the Lombre and Zigzagoons we saw before. They were all here, as Raboot was breakdancing the night away. Here, Raboot was teaching both Lombre and the Zigzagoons how to dance. After their little session, Raboot takes out the bag of apples that Go bought and shares them with the other Pokemon. This is where Go starts thinking to himself, this is the first time Go has seen Raboot smile in a long while. Raboot was being the leader of this Pokemon group that he has just adopted, just like he became the leader of those 3 Nickit long ago. Some things just never change, and that part of Raboot still hasn't. Soon, more Pokemon came onto the scene. These new Pokemon I'm talking about is 3 Loudred, looking all cool, blasting some sick noise off. Raboot and Loudred started dancing, turning this into a dance-off. This dance-off, according to Go, is for territory. This is why Raboot was trying to teach Lombre and the Zigzagoons to dance in the first place. Raboot wanted them to be able to protect themselves. Raboot tried to dance, but the Loudred were too loud to keep a steady rhythm to dance to. It looked like everything was going south until Go popped out of where Ash and Go were hiding and started to clap. He told Raboot to listen to his rhythm. Both Ash and Go start giving Raboot a rhythm to dance to. Raboot was able to surprise the Loudred by dancing. The Loudred start dancing with Raboot, but after everything that happened, Raboot and his group won this battle. Each of the Pokemon give each other high fives and everyone's all smiles and happy. But then the next day rolls around and Ash is waiting for Go at the station to head back. Go went to pick up Raboot because Raboot fell asleep at the building where he was found dancing. Go took one last look at Raboot before saying goodbye. He turns his back and walks to the station where Ash was waiting. Go meets with Ash, where Ash comments on Raboot not being present. Go tells Ash that he's planning on leaving Raboot behind for good. Go says his thoughts once again, ultimately blaming himself to be the problem on why Raboot seems bored and unwelcoming. He completely believed that Raboot would be better off without him. Raboot would live a happier life with Pokemon that can make him feel that happiness, to make him smile. That's all Go wanted for Raboot. By leaving him behind, Raboot can live like that. Go walks into the train, obviously being heartbroken. Ash still isn't convinced and asks Go one thing. That question is, did you say goodbye to Raboot? Go tries to run out to see Raboot again, but it's too late. The doors close and the train is off. He tries to run towards the end of the train, but obviously he wouldn't be able to get out as the train was moving. All he could do was sob and cry as he watched the train grow further and further away from his partner Pokemon, from Raboot. A door opens beside him and Raboot comes out. Looks like Raboot followed Go this whole time. Raboot handed Go an apple, which they both shared. Here, Go was able to see a slight smile from Raboot, realizing that Raboot was happy. Go grows ecstatic and gives Raboot the biggest hug he could ever give. With all the pieces put back together, with Go and Raboot reunited, this episode has come to an end. This episode was, well, one of my favorites. This was great. Not only was it an episode that just gets you into the feeling that makes you want to hug a character, but also those characters that I wanted to hug were Go and Raboot. And everyone who watches my video should know that by now that Go and Raboot are my favorite new characters right now. With all the character behind them, it just keeps getting better and better. Let's speak about Go and Raboot now, shall we? Because that's really all there is to talk about here. I completely loved how this episode just laid out everything. The build up to what was going to happen was so good to me. When Go broke down when buying the apples, that was the big kicker. Go letting out all his worries right then and there. "Do you hate me that much?" is the biggest quote I can take from that. It hits in all directions, both Raboot's way and Go's way. Raboot continuing his trend with being a leader is a good trend to keep. It's awesome how we can see that Raboot can find his own happiness by helping people. Not that he is never happy anyway. However, it was a nice way to kind of bring that back for an episode, and it showed that even though Raboot's personality has drastically changed, at least from what we see, it's not because his mind has changed, because that it hasn't. That desire to help and be a leader is still there. That's what made that really big to me. I think the part that defined this episode was the last few minutes of the episode, where Go said goodbye to Raboot and had a talk with Ash and everything after that. It was a roller coaster of emotions. First off, saying goodbye to Raboot in that fashion is exactly what I bet most people expected, but the way it happened afterwards was a lot, well, less expected. Maybe because people don't pay attention to Go because he's bad character. Okay, for real though, that conversation with Ash I think really defined Go as a character for me. All he could shove in his head was that it was his fault. The reason why Raboot doesn't smile, the reason why Raboot doesn't listen is because he did something wrong. Something that he doesn't know. Even though he doesn't know what the problem is or why Raboot is acting like this, Raboot was quick to think that it was his own fault alone. He let all of that out at Ash. It's obvious here that Ash has went through this sort of thing before as well. Though Ash didn't want to stop Go, he knew this wasn't what Go wanted. Not only was it big for Go, but it really shows that Ash really does learn. Did you tell Raboot was a big heart-wrencher for both me as a Go fan and for Go himself as well. It hit him hard, which proceeded into the most heart-wrenching scene in the season right now. Go running towards the end of the train got me in basically shambles. I got those sad tingly feelings all over and everything felt so sad. Even when rewatching it, and even though I know what happens, I still feel that kind of power behind this scene. And after all that, of course Raboot comes back, but smiling. It before didn't prove it, this should now. Raboot's personality may have changed, but his desires have, for the most part, not. Overall, this is most likely my favorite episode to date. I said nothing about the Beautifly in my post summary, but I don't think that matters with what happened in this episode. I keep rewatching this episode over and over again. It's the first episode that has ever made me want to rewatch. The animation during the dancing scenes were so much fun, and it got me hyped up for everything, even though the foreshadowing was pointing out that tears were about to hit hard and tears were about to be shed. This episode hit me hard and made me love Go and Raboot even more. What a great episode. Thank you so much to all my current members. Those members would be Sleep King and Go is Best Boy. I really appreciate the support and thank you so much for supporting me and my dead channel. No, for real, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Okay, now for some real talk. This part may not be that important to some of you, so TLDR, Anipoke is taking a break and reviews won't be posted while that happens. That's the most important thing that you can take out of this. So yeah, that's basically it. It's truly a pretty sad thing that Anipoke is taking a break, but of course it's something that has to happen to put health above everything else. It sucks that all of this is coming up when all the hype for the season started, but like I said, health is the most important thing right now. Of course I won't stop uploading, but I may or may not upload every Sunday, so please be aware of that. I know a lot of people are really sad about this, and I still want to keep this community intact. With that in mind, I'm gonna have to start pumping out more videos, and I'll do my best to do that. To my members, thank you for supporting me even though I've been really inconsistent as of late. You guys are awesome. You guys make me so happy. But with that, let me know what videos you would want to see if you have anything in mind. It would be super highly appreciated. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day, guys. Stay safe as always, and like I always say, peace out.